Hi, my name is Cadence, and I am a fresh graduate of an accredited Master's of Science in Occupational Therapy program. And this is my PSA for you. Whether you are just getting started in your journey, halfway through your program, or even just curious about what it takes to be successful in a program like this. Alright, so this one might seem silly or even obvious, but maintaining personal well-being was one of my top priorities throughout OT schools. Burnout can happen quickly, and I learned that self-care was really important to being present for my program, my family, and later on for my clients. So some strategies that I used included time blocking for study, rest, and self-care, engaging in regular physical activity, practicing mindfulness and journaling, and then building a strong support network with my peers and my mentors. By balancing personal health and professional demands, I was able to grow as a resilient student and future practitioner. This actually does reflect ACOT's expectation that we create plans to sustain long-term goals and professional responsibilities. So when setting my professional goals, I made sure they aligned with occupational therapy's core values and standards. I reviewed the AOTA's Code of Ethics to ensure I was always acting with integrity, fairness, and respect for myself, my classmates, and later on, my clients. For me, this meant committing to evidence-based practice, client-centered care, cultural humility, and responsiveness, upholding ethical decision-making. These standards guided me in developing professional behaviors consistent with the values of our profession. It's important to enter that frame of thinking early on in your MSOT adventure. So my OT program was great at giving me the tools to be an advocate. I learned therapeutic use of self, activity analysis, and effective communication. I put those skills into action during fieldwork. For example, I advocated for accessible environments for children with mobility needs, accommodations and sensory supports for students in school settings, and educating families with a multitude of different resources. This advocacy really reflects on our profession's commitment to occupational justice and empowering clients to live meaningful lives. When I first entered OT school, my plan was to focus on pediatrics. I loved working with children and supporting their development. But as I progressed through my coursework and fieldwork, I discovered a deep passion for maternal health and mental health as well. Over time, I also realized how much I enjoyed teaching and mentoring others, which led me to consider a career in academia. My long-term goal is to pursue a post-professional doctorate in occupational therapy with an emphasis in education, so I can prepare the next generation of therapists while continuing to advocate for clients in pediatrics, maternal, and mental health. To track my growth, I consistently reflect on my professional behaviors, seek feedback from mentors, and assess my progress toward both clinical and academic goals. This ongoing process keeps me accountable and focused as I move forward in my career. So leadership has been a big part of my development as an OT. I demonstrated leadership by mentoring classmates, collaborating with interprofessional teams, and taking initiative during fieldwork placements. The resources that helped me most included feedback from educators and professional development seminars. Moving forward, I plan to maintain leadership by staying active in professional organizations, advocating for the OT profession in my community, and continuing to mentor students entering the field, and in a year, become a clinical instructor for students entering fieldwork. This reflects ACOT standards B211, which emphasizes leadership as a core competency. Now that I've graduated, the next step is certification and licensure. So first I'll apply for and take the NBCOT OTR exam. Once I pass, I'll apply for licensure here in Virginia. through the Virginia Board of Medicine. So every state has different process and different laws. So the application for licensure here in Virginia requires my MSOT results, transcripts, and a completed application with beads. In Virginia, OTs must renew their license every 2 years and complete 20 hours of continuing education units, CEUs. And then for MSOT, you have to do this every 3 years with 36 CEUs. So these steps ensure that I remain competent, ethical, and current in my practice, upholding a COATS B4.5 standard on credentialing and licensure. To all future OT students, take care of yourself, set meaningful goals, advocate fiercely for your clients, and lead with integrity. I would be lying to you if I didn't say that this journey was extremely challenging, but it's also deeply rewarding. Welcome to the profession. You've got this.